Great evening, everybody. Welcome to Clarke TV. Tonight we have a wonderful topic for you guys. And here with us we have Mr. Clarke from Clarke TV. Welcome.
Blessed love, family, and friends.
All right, so tonight we're going to talk about schoolgirl football and we're going to also talk about female soccer in general. And Mr. Clarke, I just want to ask you this. What do you think about girls in sports and more specifically soccer?
Well, girls in sports, in any form of sports, we have to do with female in it also. I have no problem with it because I believe the female earn the rights of this earth equally as the male.
Okay. So, what are some benefits of girls playing soccer or sports in general?
Well, for the female playing the sports is a thing we build their character similar to the male. Everything we have to do with the development and the building of the male, the female is in the similar format where the development, the characteristics, all these things balance out and play out in one accordance.
Awesome. All right. Is there a difference between the game that boys play versus the game that girls play?
A bit of difference in it, you know, but it's the mindset of the understanding of the people that surround the sport make it seem like that.
Are the rules different?
Well, in
Is
some cases they adapt to the rules to facilitate the balance between the female and the male. In a sense, they like some of the ball it in a hold a certain amount in pound, them not inflated to like the usual amount where the male is accustomed to using that size ball.
but the field is the same size.
Yeah, the field is the same size.
And do they play for the same amount of time?
Well, yeah, in all these, the FIFA rules and regulation go across the board. We have to do with the female, but I think in some cases the inflating of the ball is a bit different in some cases.
Okay. Welcome back to Clarke TV as we continue our discussion on schoolgirl football and soccer for females. Mr. Clarke, talk to us about how the females dress for the sport versus the male. Is there a difference? Do they dress the same? What's up with that?
Well, I'm telling you now, America, one time female used to aim wear a sports bra. Our female still wear a sports bra when the male never used to wear it. But now, because the female sports gear then consists of the sports bra, the tights, and all these things. But to me, these things are identical with the male now because the male fully take over the sports bra. Sometimes I told the thing them look on the man them in terms of it bra is like it's a Brazil bra or something. I'm not really sure. You know, it reached a stage that the female uniform and that are the main thing knowing at the male sport itself.
Well, we know why the females wear it, but why do the males wear it though?
Well, I can't come to terms with it, you know. And no one never normally give a scientific reason for it. All I know whenever the man them scoring a goal and them take off them shirt and you see the brassiere, you get to be a the sports bra. I can't figure out playing the sports, I cannot figure out the reason for it all them years.
Okay.
Playing the sports. And you know, even though I'm old now still, but me still in a life have an understanding why the male them must have to wear it now.
Okay. All right. Switching gears a little bit. Training. We're going to talk about training now. Should the girls train by themselves? Should they train with the boys? What's your take on that?
Well, in Jamaica, or in some aspect, they have this tendency to believe that the female must train with the boys up to a particular age, to the age 12, 13. Right? But my understanding and my experience show me different because the rest of the world were well advanced in our football. Their female and male train all the time, train together, right? And there's no major thing in terms of with the understanding to it. You know, it's just our conservative way of viewing things. That's why it seemed like it's a problem.
Welcome back to Clarke TV. We're going to ask you to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, to tell somebody else, share it with your family, share it with your neighbor, tell somebody to come along and join the Clarke TV family on YouTube. Continuing our discussion on schoolgirl soccer and female soccer in general, we're going to talk about now how girls deal with their menstrual cycle during games, especially when they have important games. We know that, this can be a challenge for some people. How do they navigate that in your experience?
Well, for me, I am not the best person to really elaborate or highlight about it, but
Exactly.
with training and my understanding and my little surrounding the environment you have to do with these things, it's very important for the female to interact and keep communication with the coach or the coaches during these times. Because if the coach a male, I guarantee you, he can say anything we want, but he will never understand.
Mm-hmm.
Because these things come with a lot of emotions attached to it. Where we don't have the slightest idea. We don't can talk, But that is an area where the female upon her maturity, but if the female is much younger, they are going to need some guidance. So in cases when you relate to working with coaching females, I advise any of the male coaches to really get a female on board on their team if they are the main coach. So some of these situations they can be able to deal with it.
Have you coached females before?
Yeah.
What's your experience with that?
Well, normally, knowing me have my daughters were in the sport, Sharice and Bubla, and I used to coach the St. Catherine Monarchs with these females and them thing, but it's just the emotion we attached to it, and have a nice communication in relation with the females, I'll put it across, they can come and talk to me about any and everything. But in the interim, I ensure that I have my little ibuprofen, all of my pills them when we have in place, But if they are not interested in playing, I will definitely don't pressure them. They have to want to play when they are going through this process for me. Because one time, about 7 or 8 of them in the same situation. And I was kind of confused, and I said to the captain, you know what? Knowing so we are on our way to this game, tell me if we can be able to play the game, so we not have to pursue. And she talked with the girls them and we ended up going and play the game. So you have to strong in that relation aspect.
Awesome. Okay, so in our last video when we spoke about the Manning Cup competition, we mentioned about camping. Should boys and girls camp together? And do the seasons run concurrently, or are they separate seasons for boys and girls soccer?
I believe that boys and girls should camp together. Why
But not necessarily in the same building.
Well, not necessarily in the same room, but on the same building.
Compound.
Yeah, on the compound. Because these people are young people and they're enthusiastic and full of energy and these hormones and these understanding and these things. But I think it's very important for them to it help in their leadership skills, it help in their balance, and it help to eliminate them from certain aspect of the society that we see spread all around us during these times now. So in some cases I'm agreeing with letting the girls them camp with the boys.
How is that helpful to their game?
Well, the game, every emotion we have to do with male to female and female to male, they have to learn how to deal with it. Knowing that they have a game to play as well. Because if I'm interested in you and like you and love you, we still have a game to play. So with preparation and with focus. Because my mind There's no difference other than body parts for me when it comes on to female. The mindset is totally the same for me, you know. So I'm not limiting the female to facilitate nothing, you know. I when it come on to the performance of the female, they can do what they have to do no matter what kind of situation they're in.
Interesting. So do the competitions run concurrently or are they set at different times in the year?
All right, what with the Manning Cup and the female league that play, the female league, I think they play before the Manning Cup itself. When for me it should have played same time because the female, knowing our cultural and conservative way, does not have the level of support, where from a monetary aspect and from a support because the people them say one thing and do different thing because they say equality with female but still they don't put money in a female sport but then put all the money in a male sport. So they are contradicting themselves. But I believe that the game must play same time, in same day. If the school is in the league, the male team and the female team they can prepare the field in regards to ensure that both games can play. And the game receipt that come from this game is beneficiary to the female and the male equally across the board.
Yes, continue our discussion. We're still on the topic of schoolgirl soccer and female soccer in general. I remember a time when boys and girls championships they were two separate competitions and the girls were not supported as much and the boys had all the support, I mean from the public also, and then they decided to put it together and we see the success coming from that. Do you think there should be like one Manning Cup competition? I would say call it Manning Cup girls and Manning Cup for the boys and just have the games being played on the same day, with the different schools and just see how that works. And the same for the Da Costa Cup competition. What's your take?
For me, you can choose to either call it Woman Cup or Man-Woman Cup or um, whatever the cup with the female and the male in the Costa Cup zone. But I think it's ignorance. Ignorance are the lead thing where that is concerned. Because even if you have so many schools in the Costa Cup zone, all they just need to do is just put them together like what they do with the championship and give it the full support and you will see more balance in our society in terms of how male relate to female. And these things could be some of the things that minimize the violence against female, or the male them view the female for only one purpose or purposes, These things can eradicate some of those things. So I think it's very good for them to look at the area to put them together.
Do you think we have enough girls interested in soccer though, like that could actually have a competition? Because I think we can find more boys who are interested in soccer, but especially when the girls start growing up and they get to the place of puberty, they often change their minds from sports. How do you think that would affect?
I think that is just a mindset. I think we have enough female we can able to venture in sports. It's just a mindset for the people who want to restrict the finances in order for their comfort, because if they're serious about the youngsters, they will see the need in order to put the finances in place to facilitate the female and the male.
Is there equality in salary for the men and the women that are professional soccer players?
Equality is something where female are fight for. And that is not equality in other sports. That are when man are doing and man put together to ensure that because that happen in a workplace, that are what happen. But in some cases, some adjustment is making towards it. Because if you recently recognize the ruling with the US soccer team ladies where they won their case. And it should even reach a court. Just the suppressive and the ignorance of our mindset as a people that put it in that situation for in order for the female to have to fight for these things.
Yeah, because the ladies had won the World Cup and the men hadn't even won. So.
Yeah, because I am the person who believe in a human rights. And a female a human, a male a human, a die rights that me stand for, you know. So those are some of the things that I'm have to seriously look into.
Indeed. Yes, YouTube family, welcome back to Clarke TV. Again, we're going to ask you to like, share, subscribe to our channel. It's Clarke TV, CLARKE TV on YouTube. We just want to finish off our discussion tonight on schoolgirl soccer and soccer for females in general. And we just want to mention a very important aspect of anything that we do in life. How does your faith in God help you in your sport? In this case, soccer.
All right, for me, you know, I want to highlight this clear. It's something deep for me, you know, because everything that is happening on earth now, we have to do with man and woman. Most of the things that don't start from the great grand people, them, and from some of the biblical stages and these things. But for me, I focus on these things. We have to represent my Christ, right? My Jesus. Some people call it Jesus, call him Jesus, call him all the names him. But everything where me understand we have to do with Christ, because me a living testimony of these things. It has to do with love, care, and share. Everything else to me, we have to be with separation and segregation of male and female. It don't come from the origin of the people and mindset during this time and continue up until this day. You know, so I leave you with that, people. And just remember to subscribe to Clarke TV and have a wonderful night.
All right, guys, until next time, have a nice evening.